What's up guys, long time no see. I know it's been a minute since the last video, but I've been busy working real hard and trying to get everything all set up properly. Been talking to people, been going through an inspection for the current listing that I have, and with those that know what I do on the back end, I do mentorships, so we're working on building that community. So I have a lot of things going on in the background, but I am back guys for more content. So today we're going to be talking about the inspection that happened at my listing and what I saw during the inspection. So do you ever wonder what actually happens in an inspection? What are they actually looking for inside the house? Is it really that important to go through an inspection? And these are all the questions I'm going to answer in this video. And I had the opportunity to really shadow an inspector on my current listing of what they're actually looking for. So don't worry guys, I'll tell you all that information right now. So starting out with the inspection, I'm going to walk you down from the very beginning of what happens. Basically, from when I arrived at the house, the guy was looking around the house. I was just like, who is this guy? Like, what is he doing looking at the backyard? You know, owners weren't home or anything like that. And it was just me. I just arrived, right? So I just see this guy like roaming around the house. I'm like, who is this guy? Then I looked at the vehicle and it says home inspections. It's like, oh, okay, this is an inspector. Gotcha. You know, not all inspectors around have like this big utility vehicle. Sometimes it's just like their personal vehicle that has the name on the side and all that stuff. But, you know, gotta make do, right? So anyways, what happens next is once we start talking and really understanding who is who the inspector is and all that stuff, we began to start the actual process of checking out the house. And what this guy has told me is instead of going on a ladder checking out the roof and all the gutters and stuff like that, they actually just use a drone to check it out. They take pictures around the house, they take pictures of the front, the back, everything on top of the house that they cannot get to easily without a ladder. So, you know, they just take the drone, flies it up, checks around the house, takes pictures, and saves that in their file. So when they are checking it out for basically any discoloration or any severe wear marks on the composite or the type of roofing that they have, they could really kind of justify of whether the roof needs to be replaced or not. And obviously it would be better to check out the house, you know, climbing on the ladder and stuff, but there is a lot of risks from what they told me. So this is a lot more faster, better, and efficient and safe way that inspectors are now utilizing technology to do their inspections. Moving forward from that, right, after looking at the house from the top view, the roof, the backyard, from where the backyard is, because it kind of goes off to the side, he now checks the garage, because the garage, how it's oriented, there is kind of like a little almost attic space up in the garage to where he could checks all that out to see if there's any critters, if there's any what he calls little tracks, almost like a NASCAR, right? You'll see like these little, you know, tunnels and whatnot, or areas to where mice actually go and just go around in the fiberglass, right? Weird thing, I didn't know about that. I didn't really expect him to be saying it like that, of how to really search for critters up in the attic, but that is how they actually look for it. They look for little trails and stuff like that going on in the attic. So pretty cool thing. Didn't know about that. Something new that I just picked up from the inspector. Moving on from that is the panel box, checking the breakers, making sure all the wiring is good. Basically check out if everything looks good, if there's any burn marks, does it look like it's done professionally? Does it look like it was done by, you know, their cousins or whatever? So check that out. Completely took out the panel box itself from the cover, and, you know, basically understand that they are checking, you know, really the basis of what the house is designed as, and if it looks, you know, proper, right? So after checking out the panel, after you're checking out the breaker box and checking that everything is in good working condition, looks good, professional, done by the right people, we now start moving into the house and checking out all the appliances, checking out all the lights, checking out if everything works. And by that, he utilizes this mini little plug that basically lights up if there's power. So that's basically what it is. It would be a good thing, let's say when you're walking through a house, checking out a house for the first time, doing your due diligence in purchasing your house. It'd be cool to get one of those mini plugs where you could just stick into an outlet and visually verify that that outlet actually works. That's literally what we did around the whole house. Got this little plug, stick it in every outlet, and check if it works. Moving forward on to the next set of things that they look for. The thing that, you know, is very easy to see is just the cosmetics of the house. Does it look clean? Does it look dirty? Are there any cracks? Are there any structural damages that they could visually see? And if so, they take note of that. Any cracks, any damages, any, you know, imperfections, let's say on windows or anything like that, they pay attention to, but they will note it down as not as important to really look at, because this is just very superficial, right? So going into it, make sure when you are gonna go through selling your house to make sure everything is nice and clean, that if there's any damages at all, let's say holes in the walls from paintings or things that you drilled into the wall, you know, go ahead, cover that up so it's not seen to the buyers or anyone else, and, you know, it looks brand new, right? Fresh paint, fresh everything, drywall, make sure all that's cleaned. And if there's any damages at all that you are not really aware of, always disclose that to your agent so everything is notified to the potential buyers too, because you want to be as transparent as you can. Any holdups in inspection or anything like that could delay the closing time. This would be bad for you if you're buying the house, and for the sellers too, because if they're trying to move out as fast as they can and they want this to be a quick transaction to where they could just move out and not have to worry about a thing, then you want everything in proper working order, right? So, rule of thumb, make sure everything is good with the house structurally, you know, cosmetics, everything outside the house, the fence, the bathrooms, and make sure there's no leaks. Check that all out before you decide to start moving forward of selling your house. This will save you a lot of time when you're trying to either buy your house or sell a house, and understand all these different things all together. Looking into bathrooms and showers and the kitchens, the thing that the inspector uses is basically a gauge or a monitor that detects leaks and basically tells them, hey, there's a leak in this area. May not be a lot, but, you know, it'll tell them the amount or a detection of possible moisture or water within that area. And it usually goes on for a bit, and they have everything running for at least a few minutes just to make sure that everything is working from the hot side, from the cold side, and see if there's any puddles around the area, right? So they really utilize the tools that they have to really understand what happens in this house from top to bottom. Obviously, they're not going to be able to see so much of the structure of like how it's built, but from what they see outside of the house, inside of the house, in crawl spaces, in attics, they could pretty much verify of what the condition of the house is based off of that brief look of the house and really understanding like if everything works. So main thing, if you're wanting to sell your house, get everything proper, done right from the very beginning, so you don't have to have a headache of waiting inspections to happen and saying you gotta fix this, this, and this, all that stuff, right? Too much of a headache. So if you want to get it done right, you want a smooth transaction, get everything done, and you know, if you could do the work, do the work. But I would highly recommend you have a professional do it, so you don't have to repeat the same job twice. And I know that's gonna cost so much if you do it that way. So get it done right, make the process a lot more easier for you if you're looking to sell, and you know, you could go through the inspection going smoothly. Don't have to worry about a thing and close a lot faster. If you want to move out and not worry about a thing, I highly suggest follow this step. Look at your house, make sure there's no leaks, there's no cracks, there's no holes that are still in the wall. When you move out, make sure everything looks clean before deciding to sell your house, so you don't go through these headaches and waiting for a long time to get things repaired, to have the buyers request for you to fix it, to, you know, do all these different things, right? Want a smooth process? Just get it done. Just finish out all this stuff. Don't have to worry about a thing afterwards. Of course, it's gonna take some time and money up front before you sell a house, but if you want it easy, take care of those things, right? So if you're looking to buy a house, I highly suggest at least try to get an inspection done so you can understand everything that's happening from top to bottom, especially if they are not a 2000s house and if there are signs of just wear and tear all over, right? If you could do all the work yourselves, sure, you know, yeah, you may not need an inspector, but it's nice to know that you're not buying something that is used and abused, just like that Honda Civic back in high school and you drove it to the ground. So make sure you get that inspection done and done right. And especially for you guys that are trying to sell right now, make sure everything is all clear, all good for inspections, no problems at all. Do your due diligence, hire the proper person, and I have that link down below if you guys want to go work with my buddy Serg down below. Construction, does everything. Happy to see how far he's come in this business and what he's doing. He does great work. Go check him out down below, contact him, tell him that Damien sent you guys over to him, and I'm sure that he could help you out with whatever projects you guys have. But anyways, hope you guys found value from this video. Hope that you guys now understand about what actually goes on in an inspection and if you really need to get an inspector to check out the house, right? So here's some tips moving forward. No matter at what point you are, get an inspector, get it all checked out, make sure everything's all good. And if you want, you know, have everything done properly, get a contractor to do all the heavy lifting for you, and that does it right, that knows what they're doing, so you don't double back, make those mistakes twice, and spend more money trying to fix something that should have been done properly the first time. So go ahead, check out the links below if you are interested in Serg's services in your next project, in your next home improvement. Go check that out below, and I'll catch you guys on the other video. Peace.